minute. Are we,
Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. Thank you for joining us today within the Cauldron. I want to introduce our guest speakers today. Thank you so much for coming on board at the last minute today, since we have to do a reschedule of our scheduled podcast. But we have Mark and Michelle from the UK today. Lincoln, was it North? South Lincolnshire, UK. So let's give a warm welcome to them, and we're going to just kind of talk about everything paranormal and adventures in the UK, things that happen across the pond.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
and if you notice, I just want to put a shout out that Meeting Bread is a part of our podcast permanently now. As you can tell, she was on our intro and everything. So, yay.
Thank you guys so much. What an honor. I love it. Thank you guys. And Nico's wonderful YouTube thing. I was like, oh, I love it. It's even Irish sounding. I love it.
We're going to say the picture you sent in was absolutely fabulous. Beautiful headshot.
Thank you. I did that. Sorry, I have to share that with Mark and Michelle too, but I did that. My friends were trying to cheer me up. That was in October of last year, just before I went in for a double mastectomy for stage 1 breast cancer. So I'm partial to the pink hat because of pink being resonating with breast cancer, and then also being able to say, gee, I looked nice at that particular time and moment. So, so thank you, Nico. I appreciate that a lot. So, Mark and Michelle, thank you for joining us. I know it's 12:30 there?
Cool. Yes, it's good morning. Yes,
it's absolutely.
It's good morning to you guys. Yeah, absolutely. So we were just going to talk to you about some things that are happening in your world in the UK, and what updates do you have for us? Any interesting, adventures that you guys have been on? Any paranormal adventures that you could talk about and tell us?
Yeah, I mean, we've been busy this past week or so. We've had 3 public events to attend to over this past week, so that's kept us busy. They're always busy public events. They always are. So much goes into them.
I love it.
They do, and you have to, because people just think, oh, well, you just go to this event, you throw some public around and then that's it. But there's so much behind the scenes. It's tiring. It really is, but rewarding.
So did you guys put the event on yourselves, or were you just participating in it, or?
No, these are our events that we put on ourselves. So obviously
oh, wow.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. We love it. It's all part of the paranormal, and the feedback you get from it as well, and the looks on people's faces when seen or heard something that they're not used to, it's phenomenal. We love it.
Yeah.
We're used to it, so it don't, it's not as exciting to us, but
Each place is different. As
you
well,
know,
isn't
it's but yeah, it's
each place has a different story to tell as well.
yeah. And then obviously we've got coming up in November. We've been invited to it's a psychic. What is it? Psychic.
It's like a craft fair type thing, but it's also a paranormal convention where they have guest speakers and they have different shows to do with the paranormal.
And we've been invited along as guest speakers, so that's an honour. It really
that's
is.
awesome. That is great. Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. So the event that you guys just put on, was it like a Paracon, or tell us a little bit about that?
The events that we put on, it was
there was one at the pub. There's two at a pub.
Two at a pub. Different pubs, obviously. It's where was the other one?
Let me just have a look.
I can't remember where the other one was. But yeah, two was at a pub. I forget so easily. And it's and it's small events. We like the smaller events where you'll get like a few people, not loads.
Oh, we've only had two.
And
King's Arms and the Red Lion.
Because it can be more, not let's say 1-to-1, but not. I mean, intimate's maybe the wrong word. I don't know which word to use, but it's better for the customer.
Right.
On the activity.
Yes, you can. So you go around as one team and try and scare people.
So do you take them? Are the pubs haunted, and so you can do like an investigation there?
It's what we tend to do. We obviously not with different to anybody else, but we when we speak to possible landlords or the owners of these buildings, we go along for a meeting first to see obviously if it's viable to do a paranormal event at their location, and we get to walk around the place, see if there's any hot spots, get to know the history, see what's going on, and then obviously if we decide to go ahead with it, we make up an advert, book a time, and try and sell tickets. Then all the proceeds from tickets go back towards hiring more locations, and never ends. But
what's really be cool if the U.S. and the U.K. can come together and make one big universal paranormal convention. That would be so awesome, because there's so many teams in the U.S. and so many teams in the U.K. If we just all come together and just have one big event, God, that would be so awesome.
I know. It really would be.
Yes.
I mean, you guys have some good paranormal conventions over there. You really do. I look at the guest list of them all, and I'm thinking, wow, we don't get that over here. But, you get all the big stars at them. We don't. We don't get nobody.
We get little stars, don't we?
Because, I mean, obviously, I know a lot, because I'm a great fan of Katrina Weidman. I think she's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love her. And obviously she's over here now. She's been filming Help My House is Haunted. Mm-hmm. So it's, but, it's, I look at all your guest lists, and like, you've got Nick Groff and all them lot there, and I'm thinking, oh, wow, it's, I want to go to America.
Yeah, let's swap houses. We'll go there. You can come here. And I think it'll work out great.
You can have it here at the minute because the weather's lousy, so you can have it here. I don't mind.
Well, actually, right now in Scottsdale, Arizona, we're getting remnants of Hurricane Priscilla. So it's sunny right now, but the next round is hitting tonight. So all the way into Monday. So it's,
you can keep that. We don't want that.
No.
It's like a hot, balmy. What's that?
So we had a beautiful day here. I mean, it was like probably in the 70s.
A little bit cloudy.
A little bit cloudy, but it was still sunny.
Nice.
Gorgeous day to be out and do something.
It started out here around 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which was 10 Celsius this morning. So nice, like crisp autumn morning. Got up to about
perfect fall weather. Perfect. Yes.
Sent it my way. It's hot and muggy here. It's like the Bahamas, but no cool breeze. I'm like, oh. But that's typical for Arizona.
I love the cold weather, though. I love being in the cold weather. It's ace. As long as it's not raining, I don't care. But
You're in the UK. It rains all the
I
time.
was going to say that too, Nico.
funnily enough, this year, up till about a month ago, we hardly had any rain at all. Then obviously, then it threw it down for about a few weeks, and we really got it then. But this year it's not rained hardly much at all. It's been unusual. And it's just. But I like the cold weather. I love it. I love being outdoors.
I do too. I like cold weather too. Well, not too cold. Nothing below 0. I'm good up to 30 degrees. I'll think I can take that.
I think in New Hampshire today or yesterday? And I think in New Hampshire was like 32 degrees.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But the East Coast always gets the cold air before we do.
Right.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So tell us a little bit about you. I got a little bio from you guys. So tell us a little bit about you guys and getting into the paranormal and.
I mean, I've been into the paranormal for probably about 6-7 years now. So I'm new to it compared to all you guys. But like I said before that, I was an urban explorer. And it was what I found on my urban exploring that got me into the paranormal in the house that I explored. So it's when you see things that you can't explain, like the mist going up the stairs, following it with my eyes, and then it just disappeared. And it's not much makes me quiet. I'm not very quiet very often, but that I was like, oh, I was like that for about 5 minutes, didn't move, and my mate did exactly the same. He was quiet. And then it's weird because, like I said, we was upstairs in this abandoned house or mansion or manor house, whatever you want to call it. And we heard this noise downstairs, like somebody was crunching over broken plates, because I don't know if it's like over here, but over here our abandoned properties get trashed, get vandalized, and it's awful.
Mm-hmm.
And we heard that, and I thought, oh, it's either more explorers, it's kids coming to trash the place, or it's the police. Mm-hmm. So I thought, we'll go downstairs and make ourselves known, obviously, just in case it is the police. And there was actually nobody there. Nothing at all. So we thought, okay, fair enough. And as we went to go back up the stairs, on the bottom spindle of this spiral staircase was a little old perfume bottle, really old one. And in front of that was a black and white photograph that was not there before I went up the stairs because I'd seen it. Wow. And it was actually the grandmother of the person that owned that house. We found out. And I said to my mate, oh, it's one of them open mouth shots, and it was just, yeah. Now I'm getting a bit nervous now because it wasn't there when we went up the stairs. And then, like I said, after that, it just blew me away, and I've been into it ever since.
Love it.
Wow.
I love that.
What
about you, Michelle? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Chrissy.
What would be the best place, or I should say, what would be the place that you would like to investigate in the U.S.?
Oh.
You said Alcatraz, don't you?
I did say Alcatraz, yes. Yeah. I said that last time.
Alcatraz.
But definitely Waverly Hills.
Yeah.
I know it's been done to death, I get that, but I'd love to do it. It's on my bucket list.
I would love to do Waverly Hills too. In fact, I almost pulled the trigger and did that 2 years ago when Amy Bruni does, how Amy Bruni does her Strange Escapes. She was at Waverly Hills, but the timing, there was something else that was going on at the same time that was kind of overlapping. And it was too difficult to it was a round hole and a round peg in a square hole. So I was just like, forget it. We'll, do it again another time. But I was very close to doing that. Alcatraz, like I said before, that is a phenomenal place. And I definitely highly recommend going there and doing that. And if you can do it, one of their investigations that they offer at night, try doing it at night because it's a whole different feel during the day versus at night.
Wow.
You really get the feel of like the solitary confinement. I don't know if Chrissy or Nico, have you guys been there or not? But I mean, the solitary confinement rooms.
I've been in California, but never been to Alcatraz. No.
Oh, I have. It's wild, but the rooms that they had for solitary confinement, it's a solid door that there's no light that comes through. You're literally in dark, and you can actually shut the door behind you and experience that. And they talked about how the inmates would they'd take a quarter and flip it up in the air and then let it fall on the ground. And then that was their entertainment, to try to find the quarter and then flip it up in the air again and do it. But they all talked about the direction of where the hallway outside of the solitary confinement actually has windows that were open. And so you could actually, a lot of them inmates would sit there and they would listen to the country club across the water, because the sound would travel, and they would hear the tinkling of crystal and hear the plates and the knives and forks and the plates and everything. And then they would put themselves like almost in a trance to try to envision themselves there and listening and thinking about what the food would be and everything. So it plays with your mind a lot in that solitary confinement. So highly recommend you guys come over to the US and do it.
That's it. We need to go for me page now.
Yeah, we need to go for me page, definitely.
But there's that many. I can't remember anymore now, but there's that many on my bucket list in the States. There really is. It's just, you've got so many.
Well, you did say the Conjuring House, didn't you?
Oh yeah, well, the Conjuring House is a bit of a hoo-ha subject now, but
yeah,
there are
a hot subject. So how do you guys feel about, the Conjuring House and what's been going through, and Jason Hawes' GoFundMe page? How do you feel about that?
I would really love him to get it. I really would. He deserves it. I know he'll do it proud, and everyone else will just want to do it for the money. And I know he's not in it for money. He just wants to do it for the money, just to run the place, which is phenomenal. And to put them to back it dollar for dollar, it's what can you say?
Right.
The guy's a legend.
And he's one of, like I've said before, I think he's one of the good guys, being in the paranormal field, like we talked about before, as much as we try to strive for para-unity, it just does not come to fruition, unfortunately. And it's, I don't understand. We're all in it for the same things. And if everybody succeeds, everybody succeeds. I just don't understand why it can't be a successful venture for everybody, instead of it having the drama that it has associated with it. So I'm glad to see that if he does take it over, he's going to make it so it's attainable for all of the paranormal investigators to be able to have the opportunity to investigate.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I mean, especially when Andrea, the oldest sibling of the family, she went through all the nightmares and everything, and she wants, she pleaded Jason to have it. That means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, at least it does to me. I'm sure it does to you guys too, but it does mean a lot, saying that, hey, I live in that house. I know what that house can do. I feel like Jason should be the one to get it, because he understands it.
Right.
And that to me is just like, yes. When she said, when I saw that video, I'm like, yes, this is great. So yeah, 100% supportive.
Yep. Same here.
Yeah, I think we should have it.
It does, but will he get it though? That's the big thing. That's the big question, isn't it?
He will get it. No, manifest it. He will get it. He will get it.
My God. It's no. Of course, I want to get it. Of course.
I mean, at the rate he's going, he's got some
Okay,
pretty good odds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I saw that it was like you said, I saw that it was up over $100,000, and then he did, like you said, the match to match. He did an update saying that he would match up to $1 million for every $1 that anybody puts in it. So if it's $500,000, he'll match $500,000. That's commitment. That shows that he wants it, and it shows that he's going to do it proud. So
I think they're selling for what, 2.5? Is that it?
I don't know. I never heard that. Did you hear, Nico, what the amount was finally?
I've seen anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5. But with the nature of back taxing and things like that, I think the house is valued at around $2.5 million with the entire, because it's got on an acreage as well. And so with the land and everything there, I think 2.5, but with the possible foreclosure going on with it, there's a possibility that he may get it at a lower rate. And then I think if that was the case, that he was talking about putting in outbuildings and things like that, or possibly lodging or like a additional like paranormal museum or something off on the side of it.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to look and see if I could find the amount, but I can't.
Well, if I won the lottery, he'd be, yes, I would just say, hey, this is the money, just take it. Don't pay me back or nothing. Just
Right, exactly.
just I believe in you. So yeah. But yeah, manifest it. It's going to happen.
It will. Positive thoughts.
It will. Yes. Most definitely. So, but more exciting news, Mark and Michelle, is next month you guys get to talk to Chris McKennell.
Yeah, I know.
Very
I'm
interesting.
excited. I really am.
Oh yeah.
What it is now is trying to go through what to ask him that he hasn't been asked millions of times before. So I'm trying to limit what I ask, because I've heard this 10,000 times before. I don't, and it's just it's hard. Because I've got so much I want to know from him. I love his grandparents, as we all do.
Right.
He has an hour, so an hour of his time is, it's great. So, and there's a lot of questions you can ask in an hour too. And he's awesome. He's nice. He's sweet.
Super sweet.
Oh yeah, you would love him.
He's very humble.
Very humble and very, very intelligent.
Yes.
And as somebody who's not just into the paranormal, but also like in the spiritual side of things, it was really refreshing because I was so used to talking to paranormal teams that are like 100% skeptics, and he'll just be full out like, things are real, this is my hypothesis. I'm open to other suggestions, but like he not only grew up in it, but like he has this like respect for the cultures of the people that he's attempting to help. So he went out of his way to learn other forms of mysticism while maintaining his religion so that he can help people in the comfort of their own culture, which I think is absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
it is.
It's phenomenal. I mean, well, he's got good pedigree, hasn't he, with his grandparents? So they were exactly the same. I'm just reading the book that they wrote called The Demonologist. I'm just reading it today, and I thought it's such an insightful book. It really is. And it makes you think. The way Ed Warren talks about the paranormal, and you think, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. The spirits come from this and from that, and and it's just, I need to learn more. I need to learn more all the time. There's not a lot in this country where you can research a lot to do with demonology and the dark side of what we do.
Right.
And that's what I want to get into. That's the field I want to get into. Not necessarily to practice the dark arts, but to learn more about it so I can be prepared if anything happened and this, that, and the other. But in this country, it's like a taboo subject.
Right.
You can't be doing that. It's like when we go to speak to people, if they want us to do a paranormal, like in their location or their house or business, we don't want your kind here. There's like a stigma attached to it, and it's just, it's terrible. But
and it was like when you asked that priest about getting some books. What
oh yeah, I asked because I was talking to one of our cohorts in a very different team. There's a demonologist. The person that trained him, I was asking him a few questions. What kind of books would you recommend, or whatever, so I can gain more knowledge. He says, I won't recommend it to you because it's too dangerous. So I'm not recommending nothing to you. Well, that's not very helpful, is it?
No.
We all have to start somewhere.
Right.
I know about the danger. I'm not naive.
Yeah.
Right.
I faced danger when I was in the army. So I know about danger. I know its spirits are different to soldiers. I get that. But it just won't be helpful at all. So I said, well, I'll stuff you then. So that's what we get in this country. Sorry?
I said that's saddening that, there's no support. You would, again, that unity, like helping others learn and build them up,
And this is a man with like 45 years experience.
Wow.
Set me off on that course somewhere, on that trip, that road somewhere. a bit of help. No one helped me, not one bit. He said, it's too dangerous for you to learn. Well, you learnt, so why can't I?
Right.
You know, but no, he wouldn't. And that's what it's like in this country. That's what it's like. No unity.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's weird because, like, the folklore in the UK has so much more with supernatural creatures like the fairies and brownies, goblins, and things like that. That so many stories that have survived that it's just as likely for you to encounter some form of an actual haunting or an infestation of some sort of fae.
You know, we've got such a lot of Irish folklore. You know, a lot of it.
Yeah.
You know, in Ireland and that. And I'm thinking, you know, and obviously I'm like a lot of other people. I like my cryptids. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're real or whether they're not, I don't care. I just love them.
This book here, Demons and Demonology from Rosemary Ellen Golly, this is a good book. And so is, let me bring up another one. This is not about demon or anything, though. I do want to put a shout out. I mean, she's deceased now. This one is a good book from her, too. So
I like the cover.
It's really good.
Yes, the cover is excellent. But this book here, this is one that I would suggest for you to read too as well. It's like Encyclopedia of Demons and Demonology.
Oh, lovely.
I wrote it down too.
Yeah. I'll put her name in there. So you can just look it up in Amazon too, and they should come up. They're two of her popular.
Thank you.
I would recommend Catherine Briggs, her encyclopedia of boggarts, hobgoblins, and brownies, which is mostly centered around UK folklore and obviously like the fairy type creatures from different counties, and they source time periods and things like that. She was the forerunner for fairy faith research until Morgan Dahmer, who is a U.S. author, has kind of taken over here, and her work is absolutely stunning as well. Very well researched. But both of them are really good for like fairy faith things. And then another book that I would recommend is Josephine McCarthy, and she has a multiple set of books, but she's got one that is no longer in print. But if you're blessed to find a copy, it's the Exorcist Handbook, which is like a in-depth book on how to remove spirits and like kind of understand like what level of danger may this spirit be based off of like symptomology and things like that that's presenting. And then
what was the Josephine book?
Josephine McCarthy. It's the Exorcist Handbook. It went out of print a couple years ago.
Oh, that's why I can't find it. I was going to show a picture of it, but
shoot,
find it.
She did move a lot of hers to her own website for free.
No, it's here. I got it.
You found it?
Yep. Let me share it with you guys. Hang on.
Hey.
I'm writing these things down too. I love to learn.
Is The Witch's Guide to the Paranormal, and I cannot think of the author for the life.
There you go.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Now, write it down. We'll have a look for that one then.
Yeah.
She's very, very well written. But I'm kind of I love a good academic, kind of scholarly type book. I love when they give me sources because then that's my to be read and to buy list.
Exactly.
I want to see where they got their info from.
Yeah.
Who's the other one, Nick? Catherine Briggs, she said?
Yeah,
Catherine Briggs. Yeah.
No, she's she's long past. I believe the Boggarts and Encyclopedia of Boggarts and Brownies is public domain. It should be pretty easy to find that. You're better off finding a digital copy because her books are so prized in folklore the physical copies, that they go for hundreds of dollars. Now, she's written a ton of books, but that is probably the most common one you will find. But
What's the name of it?
Let's see.
I'm trying to see if I can find it on Amazon or something.
Well, we've just looked at the Exorcist Handbook and eBay in this country, and it's £344.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's
wow.
an
If
encyclopedia
it's cheap
of,
over here, just let us know. We'd ship it to you.
Yeah, really.
it is an encyclopedia of fairies, hobgoblins, brownies, bogies, and other supernatural creatures. And it's Catherine with a K and Briggs with 2 G's.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Cool.
Well, and that's interesting that you can't find that stuff, Mark and Michelle, because it's like Ireland. I mean, when I was there, I spent close to 2.5 weeks there, and they embrace so much of their culture and the fairies and the witches and the paranormal. I mean, I felt right at home. It was awesome.
They are.
Yay!
Oh, found it.
Yeah, I'm going to share it with you guys. It's $265 over here.
You can get a digital copy fairly cheap. That's what I ended up doing.
And that's on the Josephine McCarthy book?
Both.
Oh, that one, Catherine Briggs.
Yeah,
Okay.
Catherine Briggs.
Oh, there it is.
Now, I like that cover. That's pretty.
I do too.
I like the artwork. Yes, it's brilliant.
Yes. 265 though. Wow, that's high, but
there's another one.
I'll be the fool that we probably get it though, because
there's
it's like I want it.
There's
exactly.
a professor in the UK that teaches fairy faith studies and folklore. For the life of me, I cannot think of his name, but he teaches a class out of, I believe, is it Cambridge? I believe Cambridge.
Yeah, possibly. There's a lot in Cambridge. There really is. It's like a mecca for children and college and things like that in Cambridge. Yeah.
But he has quite a few books on UK specific fairies in different counties and things too. So he's got like Cornish fairies and like Manx and the Suffolk Fae and things like that, where he breaks it down by county, because the kind of the difference with the US and the UK with how like cryptids and things work is that it's geographically a smaller area. It's a lot more packed in. There's so many more mythos, whereas like here in a state you may have like a state cryptid or two, and then there may be like some local folklore, or maybe one of the indigenous tribes has folklore about specific creatures, and that's a thing. But it's not nearly as extensive as like the UK, Ireland, and Scotland is.
I was surprised to find how many cryptids and that we've got over here. I thought you guys would have a lot more than we did, but
I think we
it's
have 80 or so like cryptids, and then like big ones, I should say. And then there's a lot of little stories of like the what are they? The Puck, which are like little hairy mean fairies up in Michigan, and
oh wow,
you have the ant people out in Colorado. We have the little men under the hill here in my state, which is from Lakota myth, and then Deer Woman, who's kind of like a vengeful female spirit, where like she'll go after men who have wronged women.
Oh.
Yeah, I know when we lived in Colorado, we had what was that, Thin Man or Slender Man, or what was it?
Oh yeah, the Slender Man.
Really long arms that it was coming out of the ditch, and the arm just reached clear across the road.
Wow.
It looked like a snake or something, but you can see the fingers and stuff. It was really weird, and just went back before you pass it and everything.
The creepiest thing that I experienced out in Colorado was that damn phone call.
Oh yeah, we had a phone call. Well, I think I told you guys about that from the hotel.
Oh
That did not.
yeah. Tell Mark and Michelle.
Yeah, what it was. We got there. We just moved in.
Mm-hmm.
All about a week, and we got this phone call, and we answered the phone. It was on my cell phone. Okay, so we answered the call, and somebody said, "Help me," and screamed, and
It's crazy.
we like. Okay. So then they called back again, saying the same thing, and I'm just like, this is so weird. So I got on Chris's cell phone and I called the number, and it was out of service. So I looked up what that number was, because I worked for the government at that time, so I can look up private numbers and stuff.
Oh, perks.
Yes, privilege. I'm not there no more, so I can say that now.
I was gonna say, a background check was performed just before you guys came on stage here.
Yeah.
But when I looked it up, it was a hotel that was not there anymore. The hotel was back in, what was it, 1960s? I think it was 1960s or 50s, something like that. And it was so weird. But anyway, one of the weird part is when I was calling the hotel, the number, they was calling me again. And I didn't answer this time because I was on the other phone. But then they called back fourth time, and they're like, please help me. And I'm just like, who is this? Where are you? Give me your address, because I was like, hey, I was going to go and help them, and everything. Then that was it. So it was really, really weird. So, but yeah, I did some research on that. I have to find the research that I did on that because it's really interesting. But yeah, I don't know if they knew that we were witches or something and want us to help them or something, or we was into the paranormal and they want us to help. I don't know. It was just weird altogether.
That's like the Cecil Hotel that has in LA the same thing, where they have. I got to at least walk by it. You can't go in it, unfortunately, but the Cecil Hotel is one of the most haunted hotels in LA, and they've had that's where they found the girl in the water tank, and somebody jumped. I mean, I was standing there and I could see the person jumping out of the window. I mean, it is highly, highly haunted, and they've reported things like that where phone calls have come through and the hotel is not there anymore. It's not used as a hotel, and there's no direct phone line to the hotel. So same situation.
It's a mystery. I mean, it's really a mystery on how the other side can reach out to you through a phone call or something. It's amazing.
It just shows you that there's so much that we don't know, and we don't understand, and that obviously that just shows you, doesn't it? They can, like I say, ring your phone from a phone that doesn't exist anymore, and it's just, they obviously picked you for a reason, and it's fascinating.
It truly is. It really is.
I know we had a podcast with Brandy Anderson. She is an author over here. I think she's on her second book now. She did Through the Veil, I think, the afterlife. And she was talking about her grandmother talked to them through the TV on the search. When you search on TV for a show or something, she was spelling out different things on the search bar and everything, and there was, she was answering their questions that they was asking. And it's just why I was like, whoa, that is just amazing. It's like I go to my search bar, I'll go, come on, grandma, come on, grandpa.
How come that's a visual board?
Yes. Well, she was doing on the keyboard too. She was doing anything that has numbers on the not numbers, letters on them, letters and numbers. She will, do that. So the keyboard, the tablet, the TV. So that was very interesting. And
It is.
yes, think about having her back again.
That's a good question, though. Do you guys use Ouija boards in your investigation, Mark and Michelle, or what are some of the equipment you guys use?
It's we do use Ouija boards, and we know, as we know, the hit and miss. Of course, they don't work everywhere you go. Some spirits like to use them, some spirits don't. And funnily enough, we was at the one we was at. Was it Wednesday, weren't it?
Yeah, it was at the
Wednesday
Red Lion.
was at the Red Lion pub near where we live, and we had a great interaction. Obviously, when we take the public round, we don't touch the Ouija boards. We leave it. We get it all opened up and do it all safe and everything else like that. Then obviously it's down to the customers. We watch them obviously, so they're safe. Right. And we got quite a lot of interesting stuff come through the Ouija board that was relevant to the pub.
There was one there as well.
Then there's obviously one of the guests' relatives came through. Granddad came through, and and I think it's one of the best moments we've had on a Ouija board for quite a while. It was phenomenal. And we were speaking to, funnily enough, a 4-year-old child, which I thought it was very literate to say it was a 4-year-old from 1837, was it? 1837, something like that. Mm-hmm. And what he was is before it was a pub, it was a coaching inn. We had a lot of coaching inns in the 1800s and highwaymen and things like that. Mm-hmm. And his mum was thrown down the stairs and killed by one of the coachmen. And we said, "Are you with your mum now?" And he goes, "No." Obviously, that always breaks your heart. It does. "Are you trying to find your mum?" He goes, "Yes." And that's why he was staying behind, because he'd lost his mum. So obviously we lit a candle and we said to him, "Can you see the white light? Can you see that light?" And he goes, "Yes." Well, I says, "Go towards that white light. There's the doorway. Your mum will be waiting for you." And he didn't want to at first. He was scared. He was very reluctant. He says, "Don't be scared. We understand how, it looks very scary, but just trust us. Go towards that light and you'll find your mum." The next minute, the Ouija board went dead. And I had a sudden cold spot go straight through me, because the candle was behind me, and it went straight through me, and that was it. And then we got collaboration then, because his mum brought him back through to say thank you. Oh. I mean, as a former soldier, there's not very much that brings me to tears. Not very much, but I was in tears. I'm not ashamed to admit it. That was one of the best experiences I've ever had. I actually helped somebody, and that's what we're there to do as well. Mm-hmm. And the customers, they loved it. The one customer, she's like, "I don't believe it." And I said, "Oh, you're never going to believe then, are you really? At the end of the day, it's, some people just don't want to believe. They don't want to.
They can't, if they can't rationalize it in some scientific matter, they won't accept it. Yeah. I've run into that a few times too. I was a medium. I've had a reading where I was kind of forced into do a reading for somebody, and I was kind of bucking the system and not really wanting to do it, but she really was forceful for me to do it for her friends. So I did it, and I described everything to a T, about even to the fact that this woman that was around her was, you named your daughter after her. Her middle name was her grandmother's name. And she's like, "Well, yeah." And I said, "But wait, you changed it at the last minute and it became her first name." And I said, "It's Gloria," and I even gave her a name. But when it came through to this man that was around her, she was like, he wasn't very forthcoming on names, and mediums don't always get names all the time. And so she wanted to throw the whole thing out, as if it was just, you're a fake. And I'm like, because I didn't get your stepfather's name, I'm like, okay, well, whatever, chalk it up to experience. I should never have done it to begin with, type of thing.
Wow. It's awful though, isn't it? It really is. It's awful. There's
no way you can change their mind. So you just kind of go,
Okay.
Yeah. Down to
Yeah.
experience.
You know, at the end of the day, I always say, everyone's got an opinion. We've all got an opinion, and you have a right to voice your opinion. Of course you have, but be respectful of everyone else's opinion. But to come out and call you a fake because you didn't get one name, it's...
I know, right.
Mhm.
And her friend's like, well, she gave you the grandmother's name, and the fact that you named your daughter after her, how can you call her a fake? And I didn't know this girl from Hill of Beans, again, I didn't know her. So it was like, okay, whatever. Bye.
Okay.
That happened to me when I did a tarot reading for somebody. And I didn't get the name, I got the first letter, and I was saying that this young man's going to come to you, and his name starts with this letter. I go, you are going to be busy, but you got to be unbusy for him. It's life and death. You got to be unbusy. They thought it was a game. They didn't take it seriously. Then probably about, I don't know, a month later, maybe 6 weeks later, the couple's brother passed away. He drove off the bridge. He was really mentally ill and stuff. But before he did that, he went to their place. It was the anniversary. And he went to say happy anniversary, that he loved them. And they said, "Are you okay?" He goes, "Oh yeah, I'm fine." And they just brush it off. Okay. Went ahead and party and everything. And she asked me, because I worked with her, and she goes, "Was that my brother-in-law he was talking about?" I go, "Honey, I don't know. I just got the first name, the first letter of the first initial, I go, "I don't know. What's his name?" And she told me. I go, "Well, that's the first letter that I got."
Right.
I go, "I told you was going to be busy because you're going to have a party, and you're going to be busy and brush him off, that you cannot brush him off." And she I think you could say she kind of disowned me as a coworker or something. Um, she even told a friend that we was in the bathroom together. They did not know I was there, but she told a friend that the witch made this happen. She knew this was going to happen,
Oh,
and she did not tell me it was going to happen and everything. And I just sat there because it was like, I'm not the blame. I'm not the blame. But
No.
it made you just feel like shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
everything. And
Graceful.
yeah, I stopped tarot reading for probably a good few months after that. I just couldn't do it anymore. Then I picked it up. It was okay. But, that does happen to people who does readings as well.
Yeah.
It didn't happen another time, but a good friend, we was good friends, and she knew I was a witch, and she accepted everything, and she actually saved her husband from he was he was sawing something with a saw, table saw, and I said, "You got to be careful because he's going to get a body part." And
Oh.
she kind of developed some psychic intuition, and she goes, "Oh, you know, she did this reading. He's out in the garage." And she went out there and she caught it just in time, where he got just a little bit of the finger, which
Oh
was
God. Thank
stitching,
God.
you know. But yeah, he could have lost some fingers or a wrist or something. So yeah. And she was really, really she was really nice. She bought me some flowers and everything, bought me lunch. She was really appreciative. So, it can go either way.
Yeah, you get both sides. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the good always outweighs the bad, doesn't it? At the end of the day, when you help people, and it's fascinating. Obviously, in this country, we've got a lot of fake mediums. There's a lot coming to the line.
We do too.
We do too.
And everywhere, and it's so. As a person, I always used to say I don't believe mediums at all, because that's the impression I had.
Mhm.
Obviously, I'm thankfully I've changed my mind. Now there are some genuine ones out there, and I mean, you guys do phenomenal jobs. What you do, what comes to you, what you see,
Mhm.
and it's just
Yeah.
It's awe-inspiring. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Yes, it is. Especially when
That's
you
what Michelle says. That's what Michelle says. It's a lot. Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing it for then, mediumship? Or has it been all your life, or?
It's pretty much been my whole entire life. I started out when I was 5. My first cognizant understanding of it was when I was 5 years old. But I really didn't fully embrace it because I'm older, and I loved Ed and Lorraine Warren when I was growing up, and wished that I could do what they did, But again, you also bring them up back in the 70s and early 80s, people would look at you like you grew a third head,
Yeah.
So it was, so I didn't really truly embrace it until I turned 50. So I thought, I don't care anymore. I'm going to do what I want to do. And I also grew up with a very highly Catholic family that, if you, like Nico and I've talked about before too, is when you grow up that way, my mother was very that's demonic. You shouldn't do that. You should squash that. And so I kind of did to a certain extent. In fact, my current husband didn't really even know about it until until 2021. So that was yeah, he was kind of shocked to say the least because his mom was he was getting ready to travel to see his mom because his mom they had kind of said this may be the last time you see her, so plan a trip, come out and see her. And so, the night before he flew out of town, she came to me and said, "You need to stop him from coming because he's going to blame himself for missing my death. He's not going to be able to make it in time." So, of course, I never told him this and never came out to him. And so I'm sitting there going, "You're not going to make it." And he's like, he thought I was talking about the plane because he was running late. Yeah. And I'm like, "No, you're not going to make it." And I said, "So just call your sisters." And he's like, "No, you don't understand. I will make this trip. I will get there." And I'm like, "You're not going to make the trip because your mom only has 30 minutes. And he's like,
"Well, how do you know that?"
Call your sisters, And then within seconds, the phone rang and his sisters called to say, "Don't get on the plane. Mom, the doctor came in and she's having a hard time breathing. They're giving her Ativan and they really think that the end is near within 30 minutes. And I'm like,
yeah.
And then, he got to say goodbye and everything and felt really good, got the closure he needed. And he hung up the phone. He looked at me and goes, "We need to talk." And I'm like, "Dolphins this weekend, they did a really good job." He was like, "How did you know this?" I'm like, "I haven't told you something."
We need to have a talk. It's
exactly. Wow. So, yeah, he was like, "We need to talk about this. How did you know this?" So, yeah. And then it just kind of came out and I started embracing it and started doing stuff with it. And it just it fell into place. It was just so picture perfect how everything fell into place. So I knew that it was meant to be. Timing was everything.
And that does make you feel good when you help somebody like that.
Exactly.
It makes you feel like this is not the curse. This is
the blessing.
Yeah.
But then when you have situation where somebody just blames you or something, it's like, oh, now it's a curse, So yeah. So that's why when you say it's a blessing and a curse, it can go both ways.
Yeah, we all understand it completely.
Oh yeah, you really have to set ground rules because they have a concept of time. Some of them have a concept of time. It's the spirits find somebody they can communicate with. They get really rambunctious about it, and it's, I don't want to say a rarity because everybody can develop their psychic senses, but the amount of people that come through that are willing to communicate and have an open channel isn't very common for them. So when they find somebody that they can tune into, they jump on that. And they do not care. You could be in a bathroom. You could be, at a funeral. I had that happen to me where I was at a funeral and the person that had passed away was like narrating their own damn funeral, and it was so bizarre. They were talking about like who showed up, and
Oh my
they're
God.
like, it's really weird to be here and like see this happening. And I'm like, why are you here? Like,
Ooh,
can-
wow. Wow, that's crazy. It really is. It's watching your own funeral. It's just
Yeah.
yeah,
not comprehend, can you?
That happens more often than not. Nico's right. It happens more often than not. Every time I'm at a funeral, I always see the person that is deceased is sitting there, or watching it. Not so much commenting on it like what you got, Nico, but I do get it like where they're just kind of like, what's going on? This is crazy. What are all these? And then they realize that it's their own funeral,
yeah. She was, she was very spiritually driven in life, and I think that helped with her transition. And she it was a known thing that was coming. She had cancer, and so she had prepared for things well before it actually happened.
Yeah.
Whereas other people, where if it's really sudden,
right,
it can take months for that spirit to get its bearings.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, minimum after the service, if you're trying to contact a spirit, but best case scenario, 6 months to a year.
Mm-hmm.
Give them time to acclimate and to elevate and figure out how, because there's not really a handbook for them. As much as we would love, at least from my experience, there may be some kind of download that they get on how to do some things, but it takes a while to build up the energy.
You mean it's not like Beetlejuice where they get the handbook?
I said that, yeah.
I wish.
That'd be too easy. That'd be way too easy.
I can't think of that, what they call that handbook, but it's in the I just saw Beetlejuice 2 not too long ago, and it's like
the book for the recently departed.
Yes,
It is
the
the
recently
handbook
departed
for
or
the recently
something.
departed.
Yeah. They don't get that handbook.
Damn, what a handbook. I want a handbook.
I want a handbook, exactly.
Yeah, I want to prepare before I go. I want this handbook so I know what to expect. It's just, oh dear,
Just don't say Beetlejuice 3 times.
Yeah,
or
that'd be cool. I've just obviously to let you guys know as well. We've got some members of our team watching the podcast tonight as well.
Yes,
so
I'm saying hi.
Hello.
Yes.
There's Alan Blake.
Yeah, some of the dysfunctional family, but it's.
One of
I'm
those.
the only dysfunctional family around here.
You are the dysfunctional family. It's normal. You're the crazy one.
I'm the crazy one. So, Nick, I'm the crazy one in the family.
Depends on the generation.
Oh, smart answer.
We encompass several generations now.
I take that. I take that. So, for my generation, which be like on his mom's generation, I'm the craziest one. Okay. Now, the kids' generation on his and Amy and Amber's and my kids, they're all 3 crazy.
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna say both Amy and Amber are crazy. I've met both of them, so at least I know they are crazy.
yeah.
Lovable crazy. They're all lovable crazy.
It's more
crazy
fun
to
to
be
be
in this
crazy.
industry.
It's a lot more fun.
The what?
But we do what we do. So no sane people do what we do. So it's.
That's
It was. Trying to think of who said it, but normal is only a sitting on a washing machine. It was one of my favorite quotes.
Oh, I do like that. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Good analogy. Yeah. It's I don't want normal. Normal's boring.
I was just gonna say that. I have a sign that says that we're not a normal family because we're not boring.
I have one that says,
I like that.
We're the weirdos, mister.
Yes. I always want to say that. Go to the store or something, and somebody around this time of year, and somebody would say something that's not nice, and I said, well, I am the weirdo one or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely,
So like this.
yeah, it's just.
So, Mark and Michelle, question for you. So have you gone over to Ireland and done any of the any places over in Ireland, or have you just
No.
stayed mainly into the UK there?
We've done the UK, we've done Wales, we've done Scotland. We've got to do Ireland next. I always wanted to go to Southern Ireland. Obviously, being part of the army, I was in Northern Ireland quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But Southern Ireland, Northern Ireland's got some bad memories for me. But Southern Ireland, obviously, is gorgeous. It's the
It
Emerald
really
Isle.
is.
And then, like I say, it's full of folklore.
Mhm.
And ghosts, goblins, whatever else that's out there, they've got it.
Mhm.
So,
I loved when we went to the Blarney Castle, and
Yeah.
I didn't actually do the castle itself, and I didn't kiss the stone or anything like that. I did the grounds because I had researched the grounds, and they have like the witch's kitchen. They had the fairy. I can't think of what they call it now, but it was like I want to say, for lack of anything else, the gazebo, because it was like this beautiful enclosed area for fairies, and it was all green and lush, but it was all like covered over with foliage. And they had daemons, they had, I mean, you name it, they had it at the Blarney Castle. And I was like, I'm happy just walking around the grounds, because every little area was a different segment of a different area that you go into. And like how they talked about the witch's kitchen, she would take wood from the forest there. And so what, the people that owned the castle had said that they would go ahead and she had to grant wishes to people as the payment to taking the wood. So when you walked down to go towards if you walk down the stairs that goes to the witch's kitchen, you walk down it backwards with your eyes closed. And then you walk up it with your eyes closed. So I mean, I loved how much they embraced all of that. And that's why I was asking if you've ever done anything. And we did go to Belfast and did the famous gall up there. I can't remember what it was called, but we did the famous gall in Belfast there near the Titanic area. But I was curious if you had done anything in Northern Ireland that you picked up on, or.
That's the next place that we're going to go. Probably, hopefully next year, we're going to hit Ireland, because we've done everywhere else. Well, we're not done everywhere in the UK, but we've done Scotland, we've done Wales, we've done England.
Definitely want to do the Hellfire Caves.
Definitely want to do the Hellfire Caves for definite.
In Ireland.
Absolutely, it's
you have to do that.
You can't go to Ireland and not do the Hellfire Caves as an investigator.
You have to.
Absolutely, it's law.
So, Mark and Michelle, do you want to invite your team members on for a little bit? I can
come on, yeah, by all means, if that's okay.
Oh no, it's fine. It's I just put it into. All you have to do is just copy and paste that and put it into. Well, I guess you could just put it into URL and just click on it. It should come up, shouldn't it, Nick?
Yep.
Something like that. Yeah.
So that went right over my head, that did. But it's I don't do technology.
Well, you can do Facebook message too as well.
So you click on hyperlink, and then as long as you have like a Google account or make a sign-in account, accept permissions for webcam and camera, and then it'll ask you to put in a display name.
Come on.
Yeah, if you guys do, come on.
That's all. I mean, that's part of what I love about the platform is it's really friendly for people.
It's user friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Send the link across then, because you sent me the link, so you send the link across. This is where it all goes wrong. We let everybody out. The whole screen goes dead. That's what happens when I touch things.
I can send it again.
It's not. Michelle's got the link, so
I'm just putting it in our event chat.
So she's going to put it into our group chat where they're all inside, so she'll be able to click on it and hopefully come on. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
We can fit 6 more on here. Oh yeah, that'd be good. That'd be great. I mean, if they don't mind, I know it's last minute, but That's how we work. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine.
We're
No,
very
I think that's me. It's more fun. It's more fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah.
When I have questions for Mr. Allen as an exorcist, that's very interesting to me.
Yes, that's our urban exorcist. Yeah.
I've talked to a couple exorcists before, and it's always very, very fascinating conversations.
He's
Yeah.
fascinating, isn't he, Al?
He knows his
He really
stuff.
does,
He does
yeah.
know his stuff. A lot more than what we do. But it's it's him that helped us with the house case that we had. I told you about the last time when we was on the podcast. And it's without his help, it's and us combining as a team, we wouldn't have been able to expel the demonic entity that the young lady had attached to her.
One of
And
the young ladies in the room at the minute, she's her.
in fact, she's one of the ones that is watching.
Yeah.
Funny enough, as well, bless her. So if she can come on, she'll be able to tell you now how she felt then to how she feels now. She's a completely different person.
That's
That'd
amazing.
be
That's
really
awesome.
interesting. I don't think we haven't had anybody that's been formally possessed come on.
It was weird as well because obviously the young lady was sat down. I was stood, not necessarily in front of her. Michelle was sat next to her and a couple of other people in there. But we saw when obviously the entity was virtually going. We saw it behind her. It was horrifying, to be honest with you, because it reached from floor to ceiling. I've never seen anything before in my life.
Hey, good evening.
Oh, Mr. Ellis, how you doing?
I'm okay, mate.
From the land of Wales.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
I'm all right, bro.
I thought there was somebody else coming in.
Is there a question on, Alan?
Night, night, Blake.
Oh, they're off to bed now, but they've got little children, so it's.
Oh, that's
Good
understandable.
night, Blake.
That's understandable. There's always
I mean, Alan will tell you she's such a different person now. She really is. But
so Nico, ask Alan about what you
Alan, turn your TV down.
As a exorcist, what advice would you give to people that are interested in the paranormal or that do witchcraft? As far as how can they protect themselves, or is there entry level ways for people to remove negative spirits from their homes or objects that you would recommend?
Yeah, personally, myself, I constantly live in a white bubble of protection. I've had that on for years. It never gets dropped. So that's what I do. Like we did it before we'd done the exorcism. Mark was on about just, which luckily we had. It was one of the hardest ones, but most successful.
It was, brother. It was.
Wow.
It's just.
Wow.
It's.
Well,
like I said last time,
medium
though,
might
it just.
do that too.
How did
Sorry.
you train for this, Alan? I mean, is there training to be an exorcist?
I've been into the paranormal since I was 8 years old, and I'm 55 now. And for the last 8 or 9 years, I've been training up to become an exorcist. I've got loads of books that I'm going to let Mark have a read as long as I get them back.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'll let you know.
I know where your caravan is.
I know where you live.
Might take me ages to get there, but yeah.
Where you drive, probably.
So is there, can you tell us some of the training process that you have to go through?
You've just got to read up and read up and read up all your different levels of spirit manifestation. Like the one we had, Mark and Michelle dragged me in because it was Belith. I don't know if you've heard of Belith.
Mhm.
He's the Dark Lord of Hell.
Mm.
Mm.
And it's meant to have been hard to get rid of him, but it didn't take that long, considering.
He wasn't fully established at that point then, maybe.
Possible, very possible. I know he had 87 legions, and each legion had 9,000 spirit or attachment with it.
Unbelievable.
That's a big army.
Yeah,
Yeah.
truly is.
You know, it makes me wonder, was it one of them that we took on rather than him himself? I don't know. I'm not the expert, so it's but it was hard, like Alan said, it was really hard. You know, but we did what we had to do. As investigators, we don't want to see people suffer.
Right.
You know, it's and sometimes it's all about knowledge as well. You know, obviously Alan's very knowledgeable in what he does, but you know, as well as doing all the events, we like to try and, if we can, educate people as well. You know, and not everything that bangs in your house is supernatural. You know, some of it's natural. You know, and it's once you've been around it as long as we've all been around it. You know, between us all, you get to learn what's natural and what's not natural, and
You mean it's not all demonic?
No, I'll just jump in there. Everyone says, "Oh, I've got demonic possession in my house." Only 0.001% is demonic.
Right.
That's about generally what I hear too from
Right.
other exorcists and people that do house cleansings and paranormal investigations, that it's generally less than 1%.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's such a process to go through to verify, getting notes from doctors for psychiatric evaluations, making sure that it's not an undiagnosed mental health condition, and then researching the behaviors of what goes on and verifying, okay, is this a spirit? What spirit is it? Or, this is a terrible spirit and we're just going to get rid of it, and then the name comes out during the banishment or exorcism. And then there's different avenues for the actual banishment or exorcism itself. Because you have like the rite of exorcism through like the Judeo-Christian. There's a method through Kabbalah. There's witchcraft means. There's folk magic methods. They're the ways are as many as you can think of, but it's not something that people really recommend like lay people do. And it's kind of a niche practice to get into, is like removal of spirits in any regard. And I've heard several times of people who, they'll get the wrong spirits attention, or they're dabbling in stuff that they shouldn't be, open a portal, you name it, and they don't know how to get rid of it. And as a witch, literally the first rule that I was taught in witchcraft when I started practicing with a mentor was, do not invite anything in that you do not know how to get rid of first. If you cannot get rid of it, you don't even don't even speak its name, don't even bring it in the house. You are tasty is like you are tasty and they have sharp teeth, is what I was told. And when you're working in witchcraft with spirits like this, you really have to treat it like you treat a firearm. Is that even the nicest spirits can act out or become offended, and some of them are very, very difficult to get rid of, especially things along the lines of fairy faith, because the rules of engagement are very different. They have very strict etiquette, and the Catholic Church stopped removing the fair folk from people's homes in like the 12th or 14th century. that is not a kind of spirit removal that they offer.
That's correct. That is totally correct.
So,
But as I say, people say, "Oh, I've got a demon in my house. I've got a poltergeist. I've got this. I've got that." This one I done with Mark, it was a wow. I've got to get there. Normally, I do 5, 6, anything up to 10 months research on them, on the background, the property, the area, the land, any ley lines or anything like that. So yeah, but I had no choice. This one, I had to jump in quick.
you know, it's not very often that I reach out for help. So Alan knew that if I reach out for help, he
Yeah,
knows
it's
I need
tired.
help. You know, we're both former soldiers, so we have each other's back all the time. And if he says I'm asking him for help, the same as if he asked me for help, we'd be there for each other, regardless. That's what we do.
No,
You know,
do you keep like a go bag ready for exorcisms?
Yeah,
That's like okay.
yeah.
Now, what do you include in that, if you mind telling us?
In my bag, I've got 2 Bibles. I've got the King James Bible, and I've got an original Bible. I've got 6 crucifixes. I've got anointing oil from Egypt, holy water from Egypt. I've got different incenses. So yeah, before I went in the place that Mark's on about, I'd done the blessing on the outside. I buried some Benedictine medals outside, so it protects it. Salted the area, blessed every window, every door, and then went inside.
Yeah, that's a good point. For those of you who don't know a lot about like the Catholic saints and things, Saint Benedict is a patron saint of exorcisms, pretty much the protector from negative spirits. Wearing medallions is said to alleviate minor issues. Sometimes you have to go further, but that Saint Benedict is one of the ones that I used to keep in my bag as well. I had a Saint Benedict medallion and a statue, and then I had a handful of Saint Benedict medallions because I was always to hand them out after I did a house cleansing if they were religiously inclined to work with saints or like an appropriate help them bring in like their patron deity otherwise and kind of go from there. But yeah, the bread on. Do you have a preferred incense blend? Like frankincense, myrrh, juniper berries?
Myrrh, frankincense, dragon's blood. Like people say, oh, the go-to is sage. They don't realise sage is a Native American way of cleansing.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
It doesn't work with us Brits. We can't just go and sage people. It doesn't work because we're not native.
Seining, which is generally just a smoke cleansing, which can be done with a censer, but that can be done with resin incenses, pine, cedar. Here in America, we have a thing called fatwood, which is it's sold as a fire starter, but it's pine resin sticks.
Oh, wow!
And they're very similar to like Palo Santo.
Yeah,
pine's so prevalent here, and it's used in northern countries as a fumigatory too. So up in like Denmark, Norway, they call them tarvid, and it's used specifically for exorcisms.
Nice.
Those are really good. And then, but there's so many methods. I did a study with kind of under the Catholic Church on how they prepared for the liturgy for Sunday Mass, and that they do a rite of exorcism
Yeah.
within the church on the church structure before ceremony. So they'll go around, they'll fumigate with their incense blend of in their rotation. Sometimes they'll do the blessing of salt and water, and they'll throw some of the salt around the floors and the pews. Um, but there's so many ways in holy water. I was spoiled. I used to work in a senior center that had a chapel, and we had they rotated the priests. We had a Catholic priest, a Presbyterian, and I believe a Lutheran. But they had a holy water vessel, and I would bring in my little holy water flask, and I would come fill it up whenever I needed. And I was so spoiled. Just holy water on tap is great. But you can also priests will bless water in any volume you bring them. You can bring them a case of like bottled water, and they may look at you funny, but they will bless it, or they'll bless objects for you.
Yeah.
Rosaries, crosses, saint medallions, things like that. Candles, and of course, anointing oils. But it doesn't hurt to ask. Though a lot of the times, if you're inclined, they'll come bless your house for free, especially like you move into a new place. That's really common practice. Like a lot of the witches will go through and will do like a banishment and clean the house before we move in. The Catholics will have the house blessed before they move in, things like that. They're all preventative measures. Because you never know what somebody did in that house before you
Well,
moved in.
you've touched on a point there. When I moved into this house that I'm living now, the middle bedroom, we decided to strip the wallpaper off and decorate. Little did we know there was all satanic worshipping all around the room.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that was horrific. My dad was gifted like myself, and he'd come down, he'd touch the wall, and he went, "Get your little one out of this house, get it out." So we had to get it out, and then that's what got me into taking it further.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of fell into it. I had kind of a pseudo coven with some friends in my early 20s, and we got called to one of their coworkers' house because he was having poltergeist activity, and he was a snake breeder, and he had his feeding hook had come across or lifted up off of the bracket and then was thrown across the room into his back. And he had little children, and he's like, things move on the shelves, like they'll get knocked off the shelves, kids' toys light up.
Yeah.
And he had like toddlers, and he's like, I'm just worried that like it's throwing things, it's gonna knock a bookshelf over or something. And he just wanted it out of the house. And so we did like a light paranormal investigation. We had 3 sensitives with us, and so we did our impression and then confirmed that there was a spirit there, and then we did a banishment, and then it started circulating around with some of our friends in the local pagan community that we were doing house cleansings. And so for over I've been practicing witchcraft now for over 20 years, and for over a decade I've been doing house cleansings for people. So I'll get a call every now and then if somebody moves into a new house or something's weird. Or my sister-in-law had a great one where I'm very publicly out as a witch, and my in-laws are very witchy as well. And she's like, my daughter came home and told me that she did this weird spirit invocation game with her friend.
Oh,
She's
no.
telling me about this, and it's like it wasn't the Charlie one, but it was similar. It involved pencils and like automatic writing, and they were getting answers. And she comes home and tells mom, we talked to ghosts. And she's calling me freaking out. Like, I don't know what the hell she talked to. I don't want it in this house. She's like, how do I make sure it doesn't follow me from that kid's house to this house? And so I gave her some advice, which was there's an old folk magic thing when you go to the cemeteries to leave one shoe facing into the house and one shoe facing out of the house. And you leave them outside the front door so that the spirit doesn't know which direction if you've come or gone.
You get it.
And
Yeah.
then
That's
had
good.
her bless the doorways and kind of walked her through like the emergency rite of holy water blessing. And then had her bless the house and made her bless her daughter and had her go do a salt scrub in the shower and be like, we're just gonna have the precautions because who knows what she was talking to.
Yeah.
Dear, that's the problem.
Mhm.
Wow.
Well, we're coming up on the hour here, guys. So I just wanted to wrap it up and thank Mark and Michelle for coming onto the podcast at such short notice. And Alan, thank you for
Thank you for
hopping on. We really appreciate it. It was
That's no problem.
you guys saved the day. Thank you so much. So, but you guys are going to come back on the 3rd, November 3rd. So with your team, we're looking forward to that. And I also want to let everyone know too, that we also have this Monday, we have Dan from Key West Museum coming back again. And he's going to talk to us a little bit about spooky stories of Key West, which we're looking forward to for spooky Halloween in October.
Yeah,
But if you could, please like and subscribe to our channel Within the Cauldron and also Behind the Witch's Veil. We would appreciate that. And thank you again, guys, everybody. Thank you, Chrissy, Sister Chrissy, and wonderful Nico. Appreciate you guys. This was a wonderful podcast.
Yeah, it's been lovely.
And if you guys listen, want to hang behind the screen here after we hit the button for closing, and we can kind of chat a little bit behind the scenes here.
Sure.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Take us home, Nick.
All right. Thank you, guys. And
Thank you.
here we are.